Prepare to experience the strongest radio allowable by law. Secrets will be revealed. Myths dispelled. From the studio gym where excuses never apply, it's Superhuman Radio with your host, Carl Lenore.
This is Science for Humans with Dr. Jeff Galini.
Hey, Dr. Jeff, are you having some fades happening there?
Yeah, just a little bit of fading in and out, but
I think it just corrected itself. It sounds like once I opened up your mic, it corrected itself. Okay, welcome back. And you know what? I gotta say something. Okay. In light of what just happened to USP Labs and is going to happen to a bunch of other companies in the pharmaceutical industry very shortly, we all should have such a greater appreciation for what Dr. Jeff Galini has done for decades now in producing quality products that are not tainted with drugs. It sounds like that should be something that should be expected from everybody. But the truth of the matter is the reason that China chose you to make baby formula is exactly the fact that you've spent 30 years plus sticking to your word. What's in the label on the label is in the bottle and nothing more.
Absolutely. I mean, it's when this whole drug thing came about, USP Labs and the rest of them, putting things in. It's kind of tough, Carl, watching them make millions of dollars where, we're sitting turning that business away, but we know that it's wrong, it's unethical, and that's not what our business practice is about. So I'm glad that the federal government finally stepped in. And for those of you who may not be aware, USP Labs and their manufacturer SK Laboratories were indicted by the federal government from everything from putting drugs in their product, to money laundering, to postal scam. I mean, you name it. Big time arrest. So, about time the government does something good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I can understand your frustration with, you're sitting here doing things the right way and they're the ones piling on the money. But in the end, who's really winning? Another thing that we need to mention is while, they say the greatest form of flattery is when someone copies you. Producing a counterfeit product is not. And for those of you who buy Crealkaline is the company called Tri-Pharma?
Yeah, this one is Tri-Pharm. The product is K4, and they're out of California. Although the bottle says Brooklyn, New York on it, which is FDA will take care of that. But it's deemed counterfeit. We put a press release out on All American Pharmaceutical site. So a red bottle, if you have used that product and you still have it, go get your money back. It's fake. And if you wonder why it didn't work very well, that's why.
That's why. All right. So now staying in this is really a good discussion. So Kevin, a listener, emailed you and said, what's the truth about testosterone boosting supplements? So obviously he wants to know, first of all, do they really work? Right?
Yeah, and the flavor of this question, if you go on the internet and you just type in, testosterone boosting supplements, it is amazing what pops up. So very, very confusing. It's confusing for me, but very confusing for consumers looking to buy something. So, what I want to say to Kevin before I can say, are they safe, is you got to be aware. Don't buy anything that has a stupid name. I saw one called Long Man. All the names.
Well, what about the ones that actually have the names of drugs, kind of a play on the name of a drug in the name itself? Because we know like drugs like Dianabol were reduced to the name D-Bol, and you'll see quote unquote testosterone boosters out there called D-B-O-L, D-Bol. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's just ridiculous, and it's a matter of time before FDA cracks down. But, there are no drugs that are legal. And you see a lot of these websites that say legal natural steroids. No such thing as a legal steroid. First of all, you can't make that claim. So you got to be very aware of what you purchase. kind of the good standby products that, really work if you're trying to gain muscle strength are things like Tribulus terrestis, Yohimbe, just to mention a few. A lot of times people use arginine, but that isn't really for boosting testosterone. The other thing is none of these people have any research, Carl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a bunch of marketing internet stuff,
Well, what about the testosterone boosters in the wake of what's going on right now? What about the testosterone boosters that actually have some drugs in them? Maybe they have methyl testosterone in them. So somebody takes them, they notice that they feel stronger, they notice they're getting more muscular. If they bother to go get tested for something, they'll see some sort of activity on a blood test, and they think, oh, this is a great product, but in fact, they're actually taking testosterone.
Well, yeah, and I think what you're going to find part of this big indictment isn't going to just be like on DMAE or DMAA. It's going to go back to the people like SciFit who are still selling pro-hormones after they were banned. So I think we're going to see a lot of the pro-hormone guys get mixed into this big drug adulteration. But I see it all the time. There'll be products that come in from China that we're going to check out, and we'll find them laced with Viagra or testosterone cypionate or androstenedione. And I can't tell you how many products over the years, somebody would send in and ask us to duplicate it. And you look at the label and they're telling me how good this thing works. And it's like, well, wait a minute. There's 5 milligrams of Tribulus, 2 milligrams of this. It's impossible. We stick it in the GC and here's all these drugs that are in there.
Wow.
So again, but they're non-reputable companies. They're companies that you can only find on the internet. Now, in lieu of this whole USP Labs things, that kind of botches up my, only buy from reputable companies because, before the Jack 3D and the DMAA, I thought they were fairly reputable, but it looks like they weren't.
So what about the notion that testosterone is now carrying a warning? Should testosterone boosters that legitimately work be forced to carry a warning?
We have to be careful. I have a published article that is coming out in the Journal of Medicine, I believe, the end of this month, on testosterone boosting. And, we didn't find any side effects. Now, that doesn't mean that, down the road with some of these, you got to be careful. But the thing about if you can naturally elevate your testosterone, using a natural steroidal saponins, you normally don't have the same side effects as testosterone therapy. And the reason is that, that testosterone therapy shuts down your body's production of testosterone and you can overtake. Most people take too much. So hence the blood clots, the heart attacks, the high blood pressure. I don't think if that was controlled and really monitored that you would see those type of side effects. But again, the older males get, the more susceptible you are to things of that nature.
Well, let me give you a different angle on this too. So we know that hormones are pulsatile in nature. Testosterone generally is produced between the hours of probably 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning in a huge pulse in men. Hence why we usually wake up aroused in the first thing in the morning. So when you take injectable testosterone, the levels of testosterone remain high, and there is no pulse throughout the day. When you take a testosterone booster, it doesn't change the pulse. It just changes the amplitude of what is produced. So your body is still seeing the natural rhythmicity of testosterone production, which could be one of the reasons why a testosterone booster doesn't produce the dangers that injectable testosterone do. Number one. Number two, the other issue is that when you take frank testosterone injections, the testes shut down. The testes produce more than just testosterone. They produce progesterone, as well as other types of hormones that no one is paying attention to. Well, when you suppress testosterone production, testicular shrinkage occurs and atrophy. Well, guess what that means? All of those other hormones that were being produced by your testes are no longer being produced. And we already know what happens when you take hormones and take them out of balance and ratio with the way they're supposed to be produced. So this could be another reason why anti-aging medicine should be looking more towards legitimate, effective testosterone boosters than frank testosterone replacement. Now, there's lots of pathways that these testosterone boosters work. And we're going to get into, on the other side of the break, a little bit more about one that you produce, because I want to ask you some questions about it. But testosterone boosters generally work in a few different ways. Either they mimic luteinizing hormone, which sends signals to the testes to produce more testosterone. They suppress estrogen, most notably E2, estradiol, which is a byproduct of testosterone production, and tells the body when it has enough testosterone, believe it or not. It's like, if you've ever seen one of those commercial coffee makers, it's got 6 gallons of coffee inside, but it's got that little glass tube that has maybe 3 ounces of coffee. That tells you when it's full. That's how estrogen works with testosterone. And the other thing that we see is testosterone boosters that influence the pituitary production through luteinizing hormone mimicking type compounds. All of these raise testosterone naturally. All of them do not change the rhythmicity. All of them allow the natural pulse to occur, which may be why we won't ever see a black box warning on testosterone boosters. Pick apart what I just said, Dr. Jeff, before we take the break.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. Yeah, I mean, that is exactly why. There was a recent article, it was a couple years ago, in the PT 365 by the Military Times, and the military found that, over half of these test boosters that they had tested were spiked. So again, coming back to what you said, Carl, is, when just having that morning spike, we aren't talking about levels going, over thousands of points like they would from synthetic testosterone. We're just talking about getting us back into that normal range,
right?
So that we have more energy, we have more vigor.
Yeah. Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a testosterone booster that might be one you should be considering, especially in light of the fact that the company that produces it, in my humble opinion, is beyond reproach. And what is in the bottle and is on the label. Let's take one quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more Science for Humans. Do you know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's getkarbolin.com/CARBGUIDE.
If you're a fitness athlete, busy professional, or just looking for a better way to eat hot meals on the run, you need to hop over to hotlogicmini.com right now and check out the coolest portable mini oven on the planet. It's about the size of a lunchbox. It cooks, reheats, and keeps food hot all day without overcooking or drying it out. Plug it in and forget it. There are no buttons or dials or timers to worry about. It's genius. Eat a hot meal anywhere you go. Work, car, hotel room, anywhere. Get over to hotlogicmini.com right now to save 20% off the regular price with coupon code SHR. That's hotlogicmini.com and coupon code SHR. The category killer is back. Mass Pro Synthogen with results literally from workout 1. You'll recover like you're a teenager again. If you've been pouring your heart out in the gym with little to nothing to show for it, you owe it to yourself to see the performance-enhancing and cosmetic effects it can make almost immediately. One user said, "I wish I could have tried it sooner. I just ordered 2 more bottles." And another, "The overall single best bodybuilding supplement I have personally ever used." Visit CoachRobRegas.com or PredatorNutrition.com to learn more today. Mass Pro Synthogen. When you train with it, you'll gain with it.
In today's day and age, it's refreshing to find a company with values that match yours. And it's even more extraordinary when the products they make exceed your expectation in every way. That's what Michael's Naturopathic Programs has done for over 30 years. With more than 50 tried and truthful high-potency formulas, Michael's Naturopathic Programs give your body what it needs. No more guessing what herb or vitamin, amino acid, or mineral you need. With Michael's, it's all in one bottle. From cardiovascular support to weight management to nervous system support to detox and cleansing and more. Michael's Naturopathic Programs work. They have to. Michael himself has been giving it to his own family from the very start. You can find Michael's product at your local health food store or go to michaelshealth.com and get your tried and truthful formulation. That's michaelshealth.com.
Hey, this is Carl. Start your day just like I do with a high-dose lipospheric vitamin C from Live On Labs. You too can benefit from Live On Labs' lipospheric delivery system. No more pills or powders. That's outdated technology. Live On Labs has the world's most efficient vitamin delivery system, period. Learn a lot more today at liveonlabs.com and benefit from their new reduced pricing. That's liveonlabs.com, Livon labs.com.
Eat dessert again with the new 100% natural line of high-protein, low-carb Quest protein bars. I love lemon cream pie and strawberry cheesecake, but you can choose from chocolate peanut butter, coconut cashew, or cinnamon roll as well. No matter which one you try, you'll feel like you're eating dessert. But this is no ordinary dessert. With 20 grams of high-quality whey protein isolate, 17 grams of prebiotic fiber, and sweetened with stevia, these bars will make you feel like you're cheating, but you're not. Go to superhumanradio.com and click the Quest Protein Bar banner ad to learn more about these clean and delicious protein bars.
Prime Nutrition is proud to present Max HP, their most scientifically formulated pre-workout supplement to date. Now available in 2 great tasting flavors, tropic fruit and raspberry. Max HP is the most ultra-premium pre-workout available and is made without any artificial colors, flavors, or dye. Increasing blood flow to heighten anabolic activity, Max HP is designed to meet the heightened metabolic needs of high-performance athletes. Visit PrimeNutrition.com and use coupon code SuperhumanRadio to receive 20% off of your entire order. Go to PrimeNutrition.com today.
This is the Superhuman Channel, where brawn and brains finally meet.
Welcome back to Science for Humans with my co-host, Dr. Jeff Galini, who I really feel privileged to spend time with because, as many of you know, we're designing some new supplements and we're working with All American Pharmaceutical on this. And I've learned so much from working with Dr. Jeff and his team about quality and integrity and no margins at all for speculation or double meanings of anything. And this is something that was hard for me to get with because I'm looking at the industry going, well, all those other guys are saying that. And Dr. Jeff is going, look, if we can't prove it with science, we cannot say it. And the reality is that is, it's a funny thing. If someone's willing to tell you a lie and you're willing to carry that lie forward knowing it's potentially a lie, does that make you any better? It actually makes you worse than the person who told you the lie.
Absolutely, and I think that is what, we are trying to do is we're trying to set a new standard in this industry that when a consumer buys a dietary supplement, it's because they are looking for an alternative to a drug. I mean, that's how our industry got started. And why should we have to give them fluff and misdirection and deceive them? I mean, we need to tell them honestly, what we can say about the product. You can't make claims. You can't try to stretch the truth, like a lot of these companies have done, like testosterone products saying natural steroids or just as good as steroids. No, they're not. I mean,
Right.
There's no such thing as a natural product being as good or the same as a drug. First of all, they're 2 different classes. They work completely different, so you can't even compare the outcome. But yeah, I mean, I always say that, we should be able to stand our case in a court of law with science to back everything that we say. And
And not pass the buck, and not pass the buck, not pass the buck to not pass the buck to the supplier, not pass the buck to the raw manufacturer, because they're not going to stand behind you when you're in court and you realize you've been telling people a lie about your product. You can't go, well, they told me that lie. You're the one that the buck's going to stop with you. So if you can't prove it on your own by yourself, then don't promote it that way.
Absolutely. I don't know about you, but I like to go home and have a nice night of sleep and not worry about anything that I did dishonestly during the day.
I agree with you. Okay, so let's get on with that discussion now. So you had no interest in getting into the testosterone boosting business. However, you, by happenstance, came in contact with a type of, I want to say, evergreen that grows exclusively in your home state, right?
Correct. And, I was having some testosterone issues myself with age going on. So prior to, thinking about developing something, I was using, some of the products, reputable ones. I tried the Bulgarian Tribustan that I got right out of Bulgaria through our office there. So I was doing everything I could. But yes, I came across the Montana Yule Tip. It's a form of an evergreen, so to say, that is indigenous to Montana. And I was hearing about some of the things that were contained in this evergreen, and as I started to look at it and analyze it and extract it, I found that not only did it contain high levels of flavonoids and carotenes, but there were phytosterols, natural steroidal saponins that were in this product.
Right.
So, my brain's going, well, wow, this is a plant here. If I can extract these out, maybe I might have something that'll work for me. And that's what I did is I started to do a very complex extraction process, and I tried it on myself, and I started to measure my blood testosterone levels, and I went from about 150 to 400, which is right in the middle. 700 is on the high end.
Right.
So that's probably about where I was when I was in my 20s. Carl, I started feeling better. I was able to grow. My strength went up. So I went on and did my due diligence before I even considered bringing it to market. I run my my preclinical trials. I did my toxicology studies to make sure that there was going to be no side effects, and didn't find any. And we ran a second rat study, where we measured their testosterone levels. And then I've done just one preclinical on humans, which this is the study that was published. But I called the material Taxidrol, is what I named the ingredient, and it's marketed under test charge on the EFX product line. But really, really good. I mean, it did in the study raise testosterone levels.
Any ideas how it does that? Does it act as a luteinizing hormone mimetic? Does it act like a gonadotropin releasing hormone mimetic? Any idea at all?
No, I was really stumped, as were the research team that worked on it.
Uh-huh.
I think this is going to be something we're going to pursue more down the road. Research studies are very expensive, but no, I don't know exactly what the mechanism is for doing this. It doesn't seem like it should happen. But I think part of it, too, is, when you look at somebody selling a single product to boost testosterone levels, to me, that's almost impossible, because this kit that I have has 3 different products in there. To me, it takes a lot of stuff on the natural side to get that to happen, along with, natural estrogen blockers to hinder that excess testosterone that we're now producing to convert to estrogen, because that's as important. Because in the beginning, after about 3 weeks, I was starting to see elevated estrogen levels. So I needed to compensate and keep those levels down without that testosterone converting.
In fact, there's a famous bodybuilder named Flex Wheeler who endorsed your product because after years of performance-enhancing drug use, he himself had suffered from what a lot of professional bodybuilders suffer from, and that was very, very low testosterone levels. And he attributed Taxidrol to causing him to recover his natural testosterone production.
Yeah, him and a lot of guys. I mean, a lot of the guys who are on the other side of the fence, they use this product in between their cycles, to boost their own natural systems back in. I've got a lot of doctor clinics now who are looking at this as a replacement for testosterone therapy because, again, they know the side effects, and they're looking for some other way, or at least an option for people who are concerned about some of the side effects.
Yeah.
If you think you have low testosterone, I've got 12 of these kits that I will let 12 people try. Obviously, it's on a first-come, first-served basis. If you hear this tomorrow, don't think that maybe they're gone, because sometimes everybody thinks, well, I won't call because it's only the first 12. Even if you miss getting a free kit, I'll send you a discount code so you can get it at half price. Plus, I have some of the capsule samples, which is part of this kit, that I'll give you some to try, and you can see how you feel. And then if it works, tell all your friends.
Should they go to the Ask the Scientist on our website?
Yep, go to Ask the Scientist, and you can just say, if you remember Test Charge, or you can say Testosterone Builder Kit. And again, ask for the kit. If you're first 12, I'll give you one. If you're not, I'm still going to send you some of the sample packets and a discount code. So if you want to go try it, it's definitely worth the money. It's a very, very good product. And the other thing is, you don't need to cycle this. So it's something that you can stay on all the time. But I only recommend that you do 2 months and then you take a break, because you should take a break periodically off any of your supplements.
It's always Christmas when Dr. Jeff is on the show.
It is, it's just something that pops in my head,
Yeah, I know. You had no plan in doing that. That's pretty funny. All right, listen, Thanks so much today for being on the show. And thanks for bearing the burden of integrity for so long, because I think that you are about to have your day in the sunshine now.
You're welcome, and we're looking forward to that.
All right, talk to you soon, brother.